Who's been held liable for $83 million for sexual abuse and defamation. Same guy, for getting rid of Roe v. Wade, the same guy who has 3 other major cases waiting for him when he loses. And by the way, 34 felonies. And so far, he hadn't got sentenced. He got the sentence kicked back, but I want to watch that sentence.
But you didn't care any about this. You didn't care that Letitia James made up charges that no one's ever faced.
But Senator Biden never publicly called for Trump to be indicted.
We got to lock him up.
Do you think that crosses a line between the Justice Department being independent from the executive branch?
This may bother you that people are being held accountable. It doesn't bother me one damn bit.
Guys, we're going to do a quick reaction to this interview that was conducted by Kristen Welker, where she was interviewing Lindsey Graham, and he effectively just went off on her. This was actually pretty freaking funny. I actually saw how this interview ended. I didn't see the entire thing. It's pretty short here, but I got some things I want to talk about after this because some of the things that Kristen purported were absolutely preposterous. Let's get into this. By the way, guys, there's a new feature on YouTube where you can hype videos. So be sure to like the video, hype the video. It helps out a lot. Appreciate you.
Let me finally ask you about these indictments that we have seen, the indictment against Letitia James and James Comey as well. NBC News again has confirmed that that post that President Trump put on Truth Social was actually meant to be a private message to Pam Bondi. Do you think it's appropriate for the president to direct his attorney general to indict whoever he says?
Well, I think it's appropriate for Comey to answer for his conduct. 5 years ago at a hearing we had in 2020 when I asked him, why didn't you tell the court about exculpatory information where the CIA gave a memo to Strzok and Comey saying there was intel that Hillary Clinton's campaign was creating the false narrative that Russia and Trump were working together. The man who created the Steele dossier recanted it in February, and Comey kept using the document to get warrants. So, yeah, I think the grand jury is doing the right thing. And Trump got indicted 91 times, 3 days after he announced for president in February 15th, 2020.
But, Senator, I'm asking...
got 91 indictments in foreign jurisdictions.
But, Senator, I'm asking about right now and this sitting president's actions right now. It's worth...
I guess what happened to President Trump don't count, huh? Oh, no. Let's not talk about what's happening in the past. Let's talk about what's happening today. No, I think that it's fair to talk about how did we get here? What is happening right now? You know, they say history is a good indicator of the future. They say that you can set bad precedent by doing one thing and then maybe somebody does it back to you. Oh, you mean if you shoot at me, I might pull out my Glock and then shoot back at you? Who the freak knew?
Voting that James
Well, the grand jury indicted them, not
James Comey and Letitia James have said that they are both said that they are innocent of these crimes that they've been accused of. But Senator, very quickly,
they'll have a chance to prove it.
To the appearance, though, Senator, the fact that President Trump publicly called for his attorney general to indict people. Do you think that crosses a line between the Justice Department being independent from the executive branch?
Literally, the DOJ, the Attorney General, they act like you have to do what the president says. You don't have to do what he says. You could say, I don't agree with this. If it's a problem, I'm resigning. This is wrong. People do that stuff all the time. People have already claimed that they tried to do that under the Trump administration, claiming that they felt like something was wrong and they didn't want to do it. Anybody could do that. Why are they acting like this is like impossible to do?
I think our Justice Department in the hands of Biden crossed every line there is to cross. I think within 3 days of announcing he was going to run for president in 2024, he did that in 2022.
But what about Trump?
He had 91 indictments.
What about Trump?
No,
what about Trump? What about Trump? What the hell do you mean, what about Trump? You right. What about him? What about what they did to him? What about it? I guess you forgot. Graham's trying to tell you, what about Trump? If you listen to him, you would know what about Trump. How the hell did we get here? How do you do retribution against somebody if there's nothing to retribute? You effed around and now you're finding out. You're in the find out phase. The F around phase was back in 2024 and back in 2023. Now it's 2025. You're in the find out phase. Don't have me go on no interview with them. They ain't never invite me back on again.
Every line there is to cross. I think within 3 days of announcing he was going to run for president in 2024, he did that in 2022.
But what about Trump?
He had
But Senator, what about
indictments.
Trump? What about
Now, I think the grand jury is going to take care of this, but you didn't care any about this. You didn't care that Letitia James made up charges that no one's ever faced.
But Senator
Alvin
Biden
Bragg
never
made up
publicly
charges
called
no one
for
ever
Trump to
faced.
be indicted.
He had 90. Biden regretted that they didn't do it before the election. Jack Smith surveilled my phone records and 8 other senators. Jack Smith introduced his brief against Trump October the 24th before the 2024 election, violating every protocol just to politicize the election. So this may bother you that people are being held accountable. It doesn't bother me one damn bit.
And you're referencing the fact that the FBI obtained what has been referred to as basic information, date, time, length of calls. Senator, we covered a lot of ground.
2 weeks before the election.
Thank you.
See how everything that they try to say is completely adversarial. Everything tries to be the opposite of whatever point the conservative tries to make. Kristen Welker here is a bold-faced liar. She covered partially, like part of a Steele dossier story, the Russia collusion hoax and whatnot. She covered that. I never saw any correction from her about her out here spewing lies and falsehoods and misinformation and disinformation. But she just did it again because she tried to claim that Joe Biden, hey, he never said nothing about, hey, y'all should prosecute President Trump. That's not true. He literally said they need to lock him up.
We got to lock him up.
Get this. Joe Biden repeatedly refuses to comment on the Trump indictments. He insists that he has an entirely independent DOJ. Do you remember this?
Mr. President, what do you say to Americans to convince them that they should trust the independence and fairness of the Justice Department when your predecessor, Donald Trump, repeatedly attacks it?
Because you notice, I have never once, not one single time, suggested to the Justice Department what they should do or not do relative to bringing a charge or not bringing a charge. I'm honest.
I'm honest. I mean, that was a little creepy, but not so quick. An April New York Times article titled Biden's Response to Trump's Indictment, 4 Ways to Say No Comment. He's really good at that, isn't he? Well, they have this passage buried 14 paragraphs down. They always bury the really big news way deep down, as you'll notice here. Here's the quote. He does have opinions, he being Joe Biden. In the past, Mr. Biden privately told his close circle of advisors that Mr. Trump posed a threat to democracy, and here's the big point, and he should be prosecuted for his role in the events of January 6th. He also told confidants that he wanted Attorney General Merrick B. Garland to stop acting like a ponderous judge and to take decisive action. That is stunning. Biden privately told aides that Trump should be prosecuted for January 6th, and he wanted Merrick Garland to take decisive action? That is an explosive allegation buried in the New York Times. The New York Times reporters, they are quick to brag when their reporting is confirmed by a Jack Smith indictment. All you got to do is go look at their Twitter feeds. Jonathan Swan, he said this, a striking amount of the Jack Smith indictment is material Maggie and other colleagues first reported. And Maggie Haberman, here she is. Emails from this story Luke and I did over a year ago on page 24 of the indictment. They love to brag. But why are they radio silent about their own reporting that Joe Biden wanted to see a January 6th indictment of his chief political rival? Why aren't they following up on this? And where is the press? Has Karine Jean-Pierre been asked about this? Nope. Has Joe Biden? No, he hasn't. Where is the so-called adversarial press pursuing this explosive lead? They aren't doing it.
There's so many things you can point to, and that's just Joe Biden himself. There's plenty of other people, like literally everybody and their mom, that was not in support, in opposition to President Trump, was saying similar things. Joe Biden was at the top. Of course, he said things like, these people are bold-faced liars, and I just cannot believe that they had the audacity to try to rewrite history and act like, oh, well, Joe Biden never said anything about prosecuting. What are you talking about? The pearl clutching here is outstanding. Letitia James ran on getting Trump. Justice is served.
I look forward to going into the office of Attorney General every day, suing him, defending your rights, and then going home.
The fact that this is happening and is pissing her off and that she's got to deal with it. She never had as much money as President Trump, so she don't have that cushion that he got. She's never going to get a higher position than President Trump, so she's never going to be as successful as him. All of that work and effort that she took into taking a white man down, a white Republican, evil orange man down, failed. And because she wanted to be an evil bitch, she's getting cooked. That's how it works. That's generally what happens in life. When you're an evil mother effer, you end up messing around and finding out and you get cooked. That's what happens. Maybe next time you'll think twice, Letitia. I hope he take every last penny you got. And I hope you get put in jail. And I hope you get your freaking law license revoked. Okay? That bar association need to be like, Uno, reverse, take that freaking legal license away. You can't practice in New York nor anywhere else in the country. And they need to start taking away broadcast licenses, whatever type of license. If they have them, they need to start removing these people off the air. I don't give a damn what they do. I don't care if they call it authoritarian. I don't care what they do, because I'm tired of the fakeness. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the gaslighting so freaking consistently from people like Welker. I'm sick of it. I've had enough. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
You'll find out, and they'll find out too.
We will put your fat ass in prison.